Scary movie from the year 2000. Today we're going to be talking about this movie on VHS, including everything before the movie itself, the positives, the negatives. This is a movie I grew up watching. I was exposed to it way too young. I'm pretty sure I spent the night at a friend's house, and one of their older siblings had rented it, and we just kind of like snuck that and watched it. I don't know how we got away with it. I swear I was in like the 4th or 5th grade. Let's get into this thing.
That's right, Cindy. I'm gay. So is Ray.
What? I ain't gay.
Welcome back to the Ecto Violence channel. My name is Alec. This is Darwin and Yoshi. Today we're talking Scary Movie from the year 2000 on VHS. As I mentioned before, I have a very interesting history with this movie, saw it at a young age. It's never been a franchise I've been super crazy about. And to be honest, I really only like the first 3, and I know that even liking the 3rd one is a controversial opinion these days. So let's throw this thing in and take a look. Now, the first thing we're going to see is an FBI logo. Ooh, skip this. You get a nice Dimension Home Video logo, which is funny because this is actually the same company that put out Scream. You get one of these great nostalgic commercials. Little bumper before the trailers.
Now available to own on video and DVD.
It's funny, one of the movies on here is Shanghai Noon. This is a movie I loved as a kid. I feel like if I watched it these days, I don't think I would share that opinion with my younger self. I think I would be mortified. Now, I thought the same thing about Rush Hour when I went back and watched it, but that's a whole other thing. Then there's a trailer for Boys and Girls. That kind of checks out for this, I guess. And one for Committed. And something that I really wanted to talk about on here is the little ad and the included footage at the end of the tape.
Be sure to stick around after the feature and catch some outrageous scenes that we didn't show you in theaters.
I've never seen this one before.
Girl,
What?
I can see a waffle.
What?
Your waffle fin.
My what? Please, somebody open the door!
Would you please stop banging on the door? I'm trying to watch a movie in here, damn.
That just brings me right back. I love old tapes and old bonus features being included on tapes. And right before we switched to DVD, a lot of that stuff was being included on the tapes when they were making DVDs and VHS at the same time. Because that happened for like 10 years. We were being marketed both. Now, even when you were getting these, they were still half the time having like DVD promos on them for the format itself, but you get a feature presentation bumper.
And now, our feature presentation.
As well as a film has been modified bumper. And we get our opening scene with Carmen Electra parodying the Drew Barrymore scene from Scream, obviously. All this stuff was crazy funny to me as a kid. Like, I ate it up. The popcorn bit is hilarious. The silicone being stabbed is ridiculous. The thing about a movie like this is you kind of just have to sit back and enjoy the wackiness. The best example of that, and the most successful, I think, is Airplane in that example. It's just perfect. Airplane is a perfect movie. As far as actors go, we have Anna Faris and John Abrams. Now, Anna Faris is much more established. I feel like everybody kind of knows her name. Me personally, though, I am very familiar with John Abrams just because he was also in Meet the Parents. He was actually recently in Terrifier 3. So he does some interesting stuff. One of my favorite roles in this is Rick Ducommun.
Now, if the cops raid the place,
I never heard of you.
and don't forget,
To flush your stash.
Now, this is a guy that's been in Spaceballs, famously starred in The Burbs with Tom Hanks. He's been in Encino Man, Groundhog Day. The guy is a legend. My favorite role of his is The Burbs, but that's just because he's like in most of the movie, and he's hilarious. In this, he plays Cindy's dad, so he gets some very funny lines. The references to the original movie, as well as new references to the same movies they referenced here.
This is about the time I puked green slime and masturbated with a crucifix. It was my first keg party, Bobby.
Incredible. The standout cast member for me in this movie is going to be Regina Hall, who actually just owns this movie. She owns the second one and the third one as well, even though she gets killed in all 3 of them. We also get Shannon Elizabeth, as well as Marlon and Sean Wayans. And there's all sorts of funny, just little stuff that's not even referencing other stuff, it's just being funny. Like, the reporter just getting so fed up with the crowd behind her that she just shoots one of them. It is a movie where there are non-stop jokes, and I appreciate that, because if you blink, you're gonna miss one. Now, if we're talking about some of the funniest stuff in the movie, it's definitely Marlon and Sean Wayans, for sure.
It's like I've seen this all before.
They had a killer at your old high school, Shorty?
Nah, it was in this movie Scream. Same dialogue and everything.
And the actor Lachlan Monroe, what's really interesting about him is he actually later appeared in Freddy vs. Jason as a cop. And in this, he sort of plays the Ryan Felipe role from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, the big ones that they're referencing here mainly are Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer for, like, the plot, right? There's even a little bit of Scream 2 and stuff like that. There's obviously Matrix, American Pie, Blair Witch, and that's just off the top of my head, so if I'm forgetting any, let me know in the comments below, because I'm forgetting tons, I'm sure. I don't know if it's just because I'm a stoner, but I love the character of Shorty. I mean, one of the most iconic scenes, the Was Up scene referencing the 1999 beer commercial.
Yo.
What's up?
That's a 26-year-old beer commercial reference at this point, and I feel like people from that era still reference it. It's like, come on, guys. Move on with your lives. It's not the 90s anymore. Things I find that age, I wouldn't say poorly, just not as well. The character of Doofy in general. I mean, that's right. I think that because it's played as an evil guy, portraying it that way, I think it's fine, honestly. It is what it is. It's a sign of the times, you know? However, I think the funniest thing in this movie, for me, the funniest scene out of all of them, is when one of the cops, portrayed by Kurt Fuller...
Just want you to look at some photos, tell me what you think. No?
No. I'm sorry, Sheriff.
You're sure?
Kurt Fuller, if you don't know, from, like, Wayne's World, Ghostbusters 2, countless amazing movies.
Oh, just check that one out again.
No.
No? All right, well, worth a shot.
Like, legitimately, I think that's the funniest thing in the whole movie to me. As far as deaths go, I think the most memorable death for me is actually referencing I Know What You Did Last Summer. Specifically, when Shannon Elizabeth is killed, it is like, oh no, I'm gonna be the helpless killer, and then, you know, her head's decapitated and she's still yapping.
Oh, look at me. I'm all dead. I'm a gross, scary, severed head. Come on.
That's great. It's hilarious. I could go on and on about just scenes I like in this movie. You know, Regina in the theater.
It's time to keep it down right now. Shh. Shh, back at you. Shh.
Brilliant. So that kind of is the summary of the movie. Let's talk about the positives. Now, obviously, there are plenty of movie references, and if you're a horror movie fan, if nothing else, you should appreciate those in this movie. Now, there is something interesting, I think, that happens between a lot of people who grew up watching these two movies, especially if they haven't been watching them in recent years. They will legitimately confuse certain scenes from Scary Movie and Scream and characters. Now, this is funny because Scream in itself is sort of a comedy. It's not directly, it's a little bit of a satire, right? And Scary Movie is just like straight parody. And in fact, Scream, when it was originally written in production, was called Scary Movie. I think it's great. I think there is a little bit of dated humor in there.
Miss Man, thanks for all your help.
Hey, Gail. Gail swallows.
Not too much, so I think the humor overall is great. Again, I think the cast is excellent. Regina Hall, specifically, Anna Faris, these people carry all of these movies. And as far as negative goes, really, the style of comedy isn't, it's not brilliant, it's not witty, it's just funny for the sake of being funny most of the time. Now, sometimes it's a little, with the doofy stuff, right? I get it. Maybe we're all a little sensitive these days, but at the same time, it reminds me of when I watched Austin Powers. That one was way worse. Like, it did not age at all for me, well. I was like, man, this is crap. And I used to love that movie as a kid. But I was a kid. I was a 12-year-old. I didn't know any better. I thought Austin Powers was one of the best movies ever made. Now, I just don't even know if I could watch them again. However, Scary Movie is not that extreme. I definitely think it holds up pretty well. It's not my favorite in the franchise. I think most people would agree Scary Movie 2 is even a little bit of a step up. And personally for me, I really like the third one too. And before I rate Scary Movie on VHS, why don't you jump in the comments down below and let me know what you thought. What would you rate this movie? I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 hearts, because I enjoy it. A lot of that's probably nostalgia and just childhood enjoyment of, you know, these types of movies, sneaking around and watching them with your friends, but as just a lifelong horror-obsessed person, the references are funny. Come on. Oh, there you go, I forgot. The Sixth Sense. That was another one they referenced.
I see dead people.
Well, that's it. If you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.